The right to protest is something that Americans hold dear, but it used to be somewhat of a nuclear option, something to be done when the situation was truly out of hand. Unfortunately, the Never-Trumpers find his entire presidency a non-starter, since they can't seem to get him to bend to their will, so they protest, over everything. One favorite location to protest, and even riot, is in front of the iconic Trump Towers in New York City. As the president's previous residence and one of his famed business enterprises, it's a hot spot for political displays, and Monday was no exception. The Daily Caller reported about a group known as Pussy Riot. No, we didn't make that up, that took it upon themselves to protest inside of Trump Towers. The Pussy Riot band stormed Trump Tower in New York City Monday, wearing balaclavas and calling for President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin to release political prisoners. Police reportedly shut down the tower for more than 30 minutes after the protest, during which time members of the Russian feminist band unfurled a banner calling for the liberation of a Ukrainian film director, The Independent reported Tuesday. The band argued that talking about supposed political prisoners was more important than the sexist bullshit on which America is currently focused, presumably referring to the Harvey Weinstein scandal. Defending political prisoners is an issue that transcends borders. We are acting in solidarity against leaders like Putin, who has exercised authoritarian force, and Trump, who is displaying authoritarian tendencies, because we all need to be fighting together on behalf of dissidents everywhere, the group wrote on Facebook. In case you're wondering about the masterminds of this brazen intrusion into the former residence of the president and his family, Pussy Riot is a Russian feminist protest punk rock group based in Moscow. Founded in August 2011, it had a variable membership of approximately 11 women ranging in age from about 20 to 33. Their grievance was laid out in their Facebook post as follows, "We remember when we were imprisoned, we received news about hundreds of activists around the world putting on balaclavas and going to the streets to support us. That was the moment we understood we are not alone. But we should not forget that even though we've come to the other side of the fence, there are still hundreds of political prisoners behind bars waiting for your support. We received a lot of letters, smiles, and noise from you. To continue, we're calling on you today to raise attention to two guys from Ukraine, film director Oleg Sentsov and anarchist Alexander Kolchenko, who are in Russian prison right now. Sentsov got 20 years in prison, Kolchenko got 10 years. Because they, like you, did not sit by, they were fighting for their freedom in Crimea, which was annexed by Putin. During the investigation in Russia, Oleg Sentsov was tortured 2 months ago. After erection, he was transported to a penal colony with some of the cruelest conditions in Russia, Polar Bear. We decided to do an action right now, while we are in New York, with activists here because we believe there are no borders to our solidarity. We came to occupy Trump Tower to call attention to political prisoners. We believe that political prisoners and their protection are more important than the sexist bullshit that people have been focused on. Defending political prisoners is an issue that transcends borders. We are acting in solidarity against leaders like Putin, who has exercised authoritarian force, and Trump, who is displaying authoritarian tendencies, because we all need to be fighting together on behalf of dissidents everywhere. We, Pussy Riot, invite you to join our fabulous and bold path, ask questions of your politicians who shake hands with Putin in international forums, support advocacy, go out into the streets, and put on your own political, public actions too. This group stormed Trump Tower on Monday wearing masks and calling for the president and Russian president to release political prisoners. The protest was so disruptive that the police reportedly shut down the tower for more than half an hour. The goal for this protest was supposed to secure the release of a Ukrainian film director who was being held unfairly. The filmmaker, Oleg Sentsov, was sentenced by Mother Russia to serve 20 years in prison for fighting the Russian annexation of Crimea. Since several members of the band have also done time in a Russian prison for hooliganism, they consider this to be a cause near and dear to their hearts. Even though their cause might be entirely heartfelt, we're left wondering if this is once again another ploy to associate President Trump with the Russians. Why are Russian nationals coming to the United States, going to the president's property, causing havoc, and asking him to work with the Russian president? Understandably, they couldn't act this way in Russia, but it makes one wonder if the whole thing was just to make sure that President Trump's name was once again put in the same headlines as Russian President Vladimir Putin. H/T, Daily Caller. Follow us on Facebook at Freedom Daily.